Hi guys. I am broadcasting today from my house because, you have a quiz coming up and I am worried about you and I really want you guys to do well on it. And there was no video made already, so we're going to makeshift one from my house today. I have an old whiteboard from my kids that I'm going to use here, and I'm going to just make a couple videos and go through that review with you from my house. So I miss you guys. I hope you're doing okay. I am checking email when I can. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so on the quiz, we're all solving equations here, all right? I know this is a little blurry because of the video, but hopefully you can see it okay. So first one on your quiz review is to solve x plus 10 equals negative 62. Some of you might be able to do that in your head. It's asking you what number plus 10 would give you negative 62, all right? But if you can't do it in your head, remember you want to undo what is there, right? So which side are we undoing? We're going to undo the side that has the variable, right? So we're going to do the opposite of adding 10, and we're going to subtract 10. Let's make sure my head's not in the way. All right? We're subtract 10 here so that we can cancel it, and then we want to subtract 10 over here so that we can get our answer. So we're going to bring down x right here. Ooh, it's really hard to do this without covering it up. Bring down x, and then negative 62 minus 10. So when you type that in your calculator, negative 62 minus 10, don't add extra negatives on there, you get negative 72. And that is our answer for the first question. Okay, good. All right, let's do the next one. So next one, number 2, says negative 6x equal 42. Now remember, if they're right next to each other, we're going to undo what's next to our x here, okay? And so this is really a multiply because it's right next to each other. So it's negative 6 times x. To undo a times, we divide. And so when you want to divide, don't worry about that negative. Take it with you, okay? So divide by negative 6 here to cancel it out, and divide by negative 6 over here, and we'll get our answer. So we want to bring down our x, there it is, okay? And then 42, positive 42 divided by negative 6, what does that equal? And so do it in your calculator, what do you get? Negative 7, yes, negative 7 is our answer. So that's number 2. So those are kind of the simple ones, is just undoing add or subtract or multiply or divide, and those are one step. Now you get to the next ones, and it's going to go in order on the quiz, okay, where we have more steps. So in this case, if I divide this up, on this side, I've got a 5 and a 9 on there that are both on the same side as our variable. So we have to undo both of them. So think about it like this. If the variable is a person, remember, that's a person, and they're trying to get in the shower, right? We're going to undo their clothing. So the first thing that they would take off is going to be like their hoodie, right? And then their t-shirt. So if this is the person, we want to take off what's furthest away from them first. So we're going to start by taking out that minus 9. So we're going to add 9. Okay, good. You must add it over here. Okay, so now we bring down 5x. And then this equals now, what is 21 plus 9? That's 30, yeah? All right, now we have 5x equal 30, and the second step is to undo. This is now a multiply. To undo that multiply, we will divide. So we're going to divide by 5 here. Bye-bye. Divide by 5 here, and I'm sorry I ran out of space, but 30 divided by 5x is going to equal 6. Woo, so smart. All right, now these are pretty easy, right? They kind of are the ones that we were doing before I even left. This one I'm concerned about. There's one like it on the quiz where it is kind of mixed up. So notice the x is still on this side, but we have to undo a 7 and a 3. And so what I want you to think about is, what am I undoing first, right? So the first thing I want to undo is whatever is furthest away from that x. So the furthest away is this 7 right here, okay? So we're losing color there. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to undo this 7 first. Well, it's not a negative 7. The 7 is actually positive. So we're going to subtract 7 and subtract 7. And so students get confused because this minus sign is in front of the 3. That's what that goes with. This makes it now a negative 3x. That's got to go with that. So bring that down. And now negative 20 minus 7 is negative 27. Okay, and so our minus signs here, if there's a minus in front of a number, it makes it a negative when we are solving the equations, okay? So now our last step, again, is going to be to divide. That's like 90% of our last step, right? Is to divide. Divide by that negative 3. Divide by a negative 3 over here. Remember, a negative divided by a negative should give us a positive. So negative 27 divided by negative 3, what does that give us? Yeah, positive 9. I know you guys are getting this, right? You're getting it on your own before me. And if you're not, hopefully this is at least helping you out. Okay, the next one, now we got a fraction in there. And again, we started this before I left, right? So in a fraction, one of the best ways so that you always do the same thing is to put that hiding 1 in front of the x and then take it out. So this is really 1 over 9x plus 14 equals negative 3, like that, okay? And so now we're going to do the equation as we learned it before. So we're going to put the line down the equal sign, and we want to look at what's furthest away from my x on the same side. So the furthest away is the 14. So we're going to undo that first by subtracting 14. Okay. Then we're going to subtract it over here. All right. So now we're going to bring down 1/9 x. And negative 3 minus 14, don't put extra negatives in there, is going to give us negative 17. Okay. And then what we have at the end there is we're going to have a fraction, right? And so how do we get rid of the fraction at the end? Who remembers what we do? I know you're thinking about it. We multiply by the reciprocal, remember? So we're going to flip that fraction around. So it's going to be 9 over 1. And we're going to cancel it out. And then we're going to do it over here, 9 over 1. Okay, and so we're going to type this in a calculator. Now, at school you have your blue calculators, but even on a phone, right? So if you type that in, you want to use parentheses around your fraction. So I would type in negative 17 times, and then I want to do 9 over 1 here, 9 divided by 1. And so negative 17 times 9 divided by 1, that should give me negative 153 as my answer here. X equals that. All good. So far, so good. Ooh, my light is wavering. I'm sorry about that. That's what I do with an at-home video, huh? Okay, this is something that you didn't have until I was already out. So hopefully I can kind of show you here. All right, what happens when you have more than one variable on the same side? So I have a 7x and a negative 2x on the same side. Well, let's see what we do. Let me move this over. Ooh, hopefully I didn't just scratch my floor. Okay, so what you're going to do if they're on the same side is you have to combine like terms, okay? So 7x, that's positive. Now what it is minus 2x, because that goes with that too. We got to put that together. 7x minus 2x is going to give us 5x. There, we combine those. Now bring down our plus 21 equals now, oop, I'm way over here, negative 49. Okay, and this looks like what we started with. So now we're going to do what we've been doing. We're going to undo. We're not going to worry about this negative 49. It's already on the other side. But I'm going to undo the plus 21 by subtracting by. Okay. Now I'm going to bring down 5x. And I'm going to do this in my calculator. Negative 49 minus 21. What does that end up giving us? Oh, yes, it gives us negative 60. And what's our last step here? when we get down to the bottom and it's right next to each other, is it multiply by the reciprocal or divide? It's divide, that's right. So I'm going to divide by 5, and I get x equals -12. Boop. Yay. All right, sorry. This is the best I can do with the blurriness there, but hopefully it's helping you out. All right, I'm going to do hopefully a second video for the next part and possibly a third to help you guys out. Okay? Oh, pause.